Okay, imagine this. You followed your first game dev tutorial, following Brackeys or whoever it is. You make the game and it works, kind of, but it's not really yours and it's not really complete. And the second you try to change something, everything breaks and you kind of realize you don't know what's going on. So you think, okay, well, maybe I'll just follow another tutorial and really try to understand this time. But this time you pick something you're a bit more interested in, a 2D platformer, a 2D RPG, 3D roguelike, whatever it is. So again, you follow the tutorial, but again, you make the game, but it doesn't really feel complete. It doesn't really feel like you know what's going on, and you don't really feel like you can make it yourself. So eventually you decide, okay, I'm going to make my own game from scratch. So you open Godot or Unity or whatever engine it is you use, and suddenly your mind goes blank. You don't know where to start. You don't know what scene to actually start with. You don't know what system to build first. You don't know if you should start with the movement, combat, enemies, inventory, saving, levels. There's a lot going on. And the worst part is you already learned this stuff in the previous tutorials. So now you're kind of just stuck feeling stupid. You've written the code before. You kind of know what you're doing, but you just can't do it. Welcome to tutorial hell. You have just put yourself inside of something called tutorial hell. There are a few ways to get out of tutorial hell or avoid falling into it in the first place. But this video is not going to be some giant motivational speech of just build more projects, read the documentation. I'm sure you've heard that a lot before. In this video, I want to talk about something a bit more practical and something you can actually start doing today, which is, well, how do you actually create your first game? Not your dream game, not a massive RPG, just a game that you can start and publish it within, let's say, 30 days. This will be your very first real game from start to finish. And the way we're going to do this is we realize that making a game is not just one giant thing. It's a game that stacks different systems on top of each other. But the question becomes, what is the system that I'm trying to build next? So next time you open your game engine, Godot or Unity, don't just say, okay, I'm going to build a platformer. That's too vague. You need to say, okay, well, in that platformer, let's say, what do I start with? Do I start with the movement? Do I start with the monsters? Do I start with the art? Because if we're starting with art, that's a whole other video. Do we start with the levels, enemies, health bar, inventory? That's the thing, is you'll just freeze when you actually have all those systems too. So when you start listing these things out, you'll notice that there's so many different things. And you might accomplish maybe 2 to 3 systems, but at some point the game will break and it's a lot harder to follow things once you actually add those systems. And that's kind of why tutorials are problematic, because they just teach you all these systems in one video. And I'm guilty of this. I've made my tutorials as well, and I do that exact same thing. I show you guys how to make the inventory, the movement, the monster, all that stuff is shoved into one 3-hour video. And now you don't really understand how you need to break these things down. Okay, with all that being said, what is the conclusion? Well, step 1 is basically think of a game you want to make and then actually break it down into different systems. Now with this is the cool part, is that tutorials are still useful, but only if you use them correctly. Because tutorials will teach you systems, but they don't teach you the path that you need to take. Now, if you struggle with actually creating the path and need a more guided system, that's exactly what Coding Quest is for. Kind of a shameless plug, but that's the idea. Without further ado, let's continue with the video, because that is the idea. You need to continue with the path of the game. So you need to stack different systems on top of a path that will actually help you create the game you want. So once we understand that a game is not just one giant thing, it's actually a collection of systems, or what I like to call quests, that's kind of what I do on my website, then we can now start with the skeleton of the game. So again, going to a 2D platformer as the example, we want to start with movement. Okay, what does movement entail? It entails left and right. Let's jump. Let's jump onto a platform. Well, in order to jump on a platform, we would need to make the platform. Okay, well, games also need a start and a finish, so let's add that, right? Add a spawn point for the player and an end point for the player. Where do we actually want to go? And that's, of course, where things like level design will come into play. But in the beginning, don't worry too much about level design. That will come later. You don't need to complicate it. You don't need music. You don't need a main menu. You don't need perfect art. You can just have placeholders in the beginning. Before your game is actually fun, the game needs to exist. So start with the skeleton. That's step 1. Now, another thing I want to point out is to avoid the polish trap. This is where you'll start wanting to polish things. You'll choose the font. You'll start trying to perfect the sprite, design the main menu, add some music, stuff like that. Don't add polish in the beginning of when you're actually making the game. Polish should and will come later. Now, the next piece of advice is to add one system at a time. Once you have the base of the game working, we can start stacking different systems on it. So once we have movement, well, maybe now we need enemies. Once we have enemies and the player, well, now we probably need levels. Now we might want a health bar, some collectibles, a restart window, like a way to restart the level, something like that. A windscreen. And that's kind of what Brackeys goes through in his 2D tutorial. The 2D platformer tutorial he does, he stacks all of these things together. So when you build it, if you do go back and build it with him, that is exactly what you might notice. Now, following that is that order matters, right? Because we can't really build something that depends on another thing that we haven't really built yet. Like if we build the skeleton, or like, sorry, not the skeleton, the monsters, before we built the player, it just doesn't really make sense, right? Really think and sit down and just write down what is the base thing of this game that I need to do. Okay, now 2 more pieces of advice before I kind of end this video, because this video is getting longer and I appreciate you guys sticking out until here, but there's 2 pieces that are really, really important. Okay, I have a couple of more pieces of advice that you can actually take action right now to make your first game. Now, this is a mistake that a lot of people do, and a lot of you guys will still make this mistake after this video. It is to pick something small. There's something called scope creep, which is basically you scope out a game that you want to make, and then all of a sudden the scope kind of becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. It's kind of the scope creeping up on you. That's why it's called scope creep. So the idea here is pick something really, really small. You might think, oh, I can make this thing in 2 days or 3 days. But then all of a sudden a week has gone by and you haven't even done the first thing. So again, pick a very, very small game. Not a small system, but a small game. Whether it's a platformer with 10 levels and that's it, that's great. A small platformer with 10 levels with a little bit of level design with maybe 2 to 3 different enemies, that is all you need for a full game. That is maybe an hour of gameplay, so it's not a lot, but you can still make it fun. Now, here's on to my next piece of advice, is publish your game. Now, you might not think this is important, and you might think, well, I don't want to publish something that's trash. A lot of you guys might think this, but publishing is part of the learning process, even if it's on itch and not Steam. I know Steam can be a little expensive with $100, and likely with your first 1 to 2 games, you might not make that money back. That's not the point. The point isn't to make money. The point is to actually get a game out there. So itch is a really good game to put your game, website to put your game out there. So go put it on itch. That is my very final recommendation. It's perfect for indie games. A lot of people will scroll through itch and look for indie games to play. So maybe yours could be one of them. The cooler part about this is people might actually give you advice. People might give you a comment and be like, hey, I really like this part, but I didn't like this part of the game. Okay, so as a final thing, you do not escape tutorial hell by watching more tutorials or by just thinking, let me make a game. You need to really start making some smaller decisions. And again, if you guys struggle with making those decisions, codingquest.io is a great resource to help you guys out with that. I know I am kind of shamelessly plugging it in, but I really am trying to make something that's useful for you guys. So if you need a more guided path, especially with Godot, my website teaches exactly that. I break down a full game demo, so a platformer, for example, and break it down into smaller parts. We build everything from scratch, and I get you to actually write the code as you go along. So you're not just following any one type, you're actually writing the code yourself. And with that, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys escape tutorial hell, as I know it is very difficult. I spent maybe 3 to 4 years in there myself, so I hope to see you guys around. If you guys have escaped it and have made your first game, go check out my Discord. Go post it down there. I also have a place on my website that you can post your games and share it with people in my community. So until then, I'll see you guys next time.